Have you ever wondered what's quietly stealing years from your life once you hit 60? Time starts feeling like it's slipping through your fingers. And the truth is, some everyday habits might be speeding up that clock without you even realizing it. Some people in their 60s radiate energy, stay sharp, and keep going strong, while others feel drained, foggy, or stuck in a rut. The difference? It's often in the small things they do, or don't do, every single day. In this video, we're diving into 7 hidden habits that could shorten your life after 60. These aren't random guesses. They're rooted in real patterns doctors and researchers have spotted in people who age faster than they should. By the end, you'll know exactly what habits to watch out for in your own life and, more importantly, how to turn them around to protect your health and add years to your future. Stick around until the end, because you might be overlooking tiny choices that could make or break how long, and how well, you live. Let's jump in. Habit 1. Skipping breakfast. One of the sneakiest habits that could quietly cut your years short isn't tucked away deep in your genetic code, scribbled in your doctor's complicated charts, or even tied to some rare medical mystery. It's right there on your kitchen table, staring you in the face every morning. Or, more accurately, it's not there at all. Skipping breakfast might feel like no big deal, just a casual choice in the rush of daily life. But research reveals a startling truth: people over 60 who habitually bypass their morning meal face a noticeably higher risk of heart problems, a sluggish metabolism that struggles to keep up, and even worrisome cognitive decline that clouds their thinking. Why does this happen? Breakfast isn't just food. It's the spark that ignites your energy for the day, steadies your blood sugar levels like a finely tuned engine, and delivers essential fuel to your brain to keep it firing on all cylinders. Picture 2 neighbors, Linda and Tom, both 62 years young, living just a few doors apart. Linda begins each morning with a simple, no-fuss meal. Maybe oatmeal topped with fresh fruit and a steaming cup of coffee. It's nothing extravagant, but it's consistent, and it keeps her feeling focused, alert, and energized well into the late morning hours. Tom, on the other hand, bolts out the door with barely a sip of water to his name, too rushed or distracted to eat. By 10 a.m., he's dragging, his energy crashes. He's reaching for sugary junk to prop himself up, and he can't seem to concentrate on even the simplest tasks. Over months and years, Linda's steady breakfast routine strengthens her heart, sharpens her mind, and builds a foundation of resilience, while Tom's habit of skipping meals slowly erodes his body's defenses, leaving him vulnerable to fatigue and decline. If you're one of those people who skips breakfast, maybe because you don't feel hungry first thing or your schedule too packed to pause, pay close attention. This seemingly small choice could be silently sapping your vitality, draining the life force you need to thrive. The good news: turning it around is easier than you think. You don't need a gourmet spread. Just start small with something simple, like a ripe banana, a warm slice of toast with a smear of butter, or a creamy cup of yogurt to get you going. Your body craves that fuel, especially after 60, when every bit of energy counts more than ever. So, take a moment and ask yourself, are you truly giving your day the strong, vibrant start it deserves? This one little habit might just be the simplest, most powerful way to keep your engine humming smoothly and your years stretching out longer ahead of you. Habit 2. Sitting too long. Believe it or not, the sheer amount of time you spend sitting each day could be quietly chiseling away at the years you have left, like a thief you never even noticed sneaking into your life. Research has uncovered a sobering fact: for those over 60, sitting for more than 6 hours a day isn't just a harmless habit. It's strongly tied to a heightened risk of serious conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and even the chilling prospect of an earlier death than you might expect. Movement isn't just a luxury, it's the lifeblood that keeps your circulation humming, your muscles toned and powerful, and your joints loose and flexible enough to carry you through your days with ease. Picture two people, Sarah and Mike, both 65, living out their routines side by side. Sarah spends her days at a desk job, but she's intentional about it. She makes a conscious effort to stand up every hour, maybe stretch her arms overhead, or take a brisk little walk around the house to shake off the stiffness. She feels limber, awake, and fully in tune with her body. Mike, though, is a different story. He sinks into hours of binge-watching TV shows or endlessly scrolling through his phone, barely shifting from his spot on the couch. Before long, his back starts to ache, his energy drains away like a battery running low, and he doesn't even clock that his body's gradually stiffening up, locking into a state he can't easily undo. Sitting too long isn't just a sign of laziness. It's a slow, insidious drain on your health, sapping your strength bit by bit. But here's the silver lining. The good news that can turn this around: you don't have to let that cycle trap you. It's as simple as setting a timer to nudge you to stand every 30 minutes, doing a quick stretch to loosen your shoulders, or taking a short stroll to the mailbox to breathe some fresh air. Those little bursts of movement might seem small, but they stack up over time, building a shield against the damage. If you've caught yourself glued to your chair more often than you'd care to admit, maybe even feeling that twinge of guilt as you read this, don't brush it aside. Your body's practically pleading with you to get up and move. How much you choose to stand up and shake off the stillness today could reveal a whole lot about how long you'll keep standing tall and strong in the years stretching out ahead of you. Habit 3. Ignoring your teeth. Your smile, those pearly whites you flash at the world, might be concealing a subtle, surprising clue about how long you'll stick around. One you've probably never stopped to ponder. Research paints a stark picture: poor dental health after 60. Things like skipping your nightly brushing, letting flossing fall by the wayside, or dodging the dentist year after year, doesn't just mess with your mouth, it's directly linked to scary stuff like heart disease, nasty infections, and even a shorter life expectancy than you might hope for. Healthy teeth aren't just about looking good, they're a cornerstone of a healthy body, a foundation that holds more than you'd think. Picture two folks, James and Lisa, both 63, navigating their daily lives. James is diligent. He brushes twice a day with care, runs floss through every gap, and keeps his dentist appointments like clockwork. His gums are tough and pink, and he chomps down on apples or steak without a twinge of discomfort, enjoying every bite. Lisa, though, has let her dental habits slip over time. She brushes haphazardly, skips flossing more often than not, and hasn't seen a dentist in years. Now she's dealing with sore. Habit 4. Overdoing the sugar. How much sugar you pile onto your plate, or sip through a straw, after 60 could be stealthily winding up a timer on your health, ticking away in the background without you even noticing. Research lays it out plain and clear: a high sugar intake doesn't just satisfy your sweet tooth, it's tied to creeping inflammation that irritates your system, stubborn weight gain that clings to your frame, and a seriously elevated risk of diabetes and heart troubles, all of which gang up to fast forward the aging process before you're ready. Picture two old friends, Helen and Dave, both 64, sharing a coffee shop table but living very different stories. Helen savors the occasional treat, a square of dark chocolate or a homemade cookie every now and then, but she keeps it in check, balancing it out with crisp veggies and lean protein to fuel her days. Her energy stays rock steady, her weight holds firm, and she feels good in her skin. Dave, on the other hand, can't say no to the siren call of sugary soda. a handful of cookies, or a pile of candy every single day. It's his routine, his comfort. Lately, though, he's dragging, exhaustion creeps in. His waistline's ballooning out of control, and his doctor's starting to drop stern warnings about his blood sugar levels spiking into dangerous territory. Sugar's a sneaky saboteur. It's all fun and sweet in the moment, but it swings a heavy hammer down the line, chipping away at your vitality. The good news, though? You've got the power to dial it back, and it's simpler than you might think. Swap that fizzy soda for a cool glass of water. Trade the candy bowl for a juicy piece of fruit, and pay attention to how your body perks up in response. If sugar's woven itself into the fabric of your daily life more than you'd care to admit, it's time to take a long, hard look in the mirror. That sweet habit might be costing you far more years than you realize, and it's not worth the price. Habit 5, avoiding new things. Here's a twist you might not see coming. Clinging to the same tired old routine day after day could actually be trimming precious years off your life, and you wouldn't even suspect it. Studies reveal something fascinating. People over 60 who push themselves to keep learning, whether it's picking up fresh skills, diving into new hobbies, or even wrestling with the latest tech gadgets, don't just stay mentally sharper, they actually live longer, fuller lives. Embracing new challenges isn't just busy work, it keeps your brain nimble, adaptable, and buzzing with energy, while lifting your spirits to keep you feeling truly alive. Picture two neighbors, Anna and Paul, both 61, walking different paths through their days. Anna decided last year to try her hand at painting. She's no Picasso yet, but she loves the challenge of mixing colors and strokes, and it lights her up every single day with focus and a quiet excitement that spills into everything she does. Paul, though, hunkers down in his comfort zone, glued to the same handful of TV shows he's watched a dozen times, steering clear of anything unfamiliar like it's a threat. Lately, his mind feels sluggish, like it's wading through fog, and he's bored more often than he'd ever let on. Even to himself, a brain that stagnates, that stops stretching and growing, starts aging faster than it should, rusting out when it could be shining. The good news: you can jolt things back to life, and it's easier than you might think. Dip your toes in with something small. Whip up a new recipe from scratch. Download an app and figure it out. Or sign up for a local class that piques your curiosity. If you've been coasting through life on autopilot, letting the days blur into sameness, don't snooze through this wake-up call. Your brain's practically pleading for a spark to reignite it. How open you are to shaking things up and embracing the new today might just whisper a clue about how long you'll keep thriving, sharp, and engaged in the years stretching out before you. Habit 6, bottling up emotions. How you wrestle with, or bury, your feelings after 60 could be silently chiseling away at the years you've got left, carving out chunks of your life in ways you might not even notice until it's too late. Chronic stress, the kind that festers from unexpressed emotions like simmering anger or heavy sadness, doesn't just sit there. It jacks up your blood pressure, chips away at your immune system's defenses, and hits the gas pedal on aging, speeding you toward decline faster than you'd ever guess. People who find ways to let it out, to process what's weighing on them, tend to hold on to their health longer, staying strong in body and spirit. Picture two folks, Mark and Claire, both 66. Facing life's ups and downs in their own ways. Mark's got a system. When he's upset, he hashes it out with his buddies over a beer, scribbles a few raw thoughts in a journal, and then lets it slip away. He's calm, steady, like a rock in a storm. Claire, though, locks it all inside, bottling up every argument, every worry, letting it stew and churn in her mind. Her sleep's restless now, Her stomach twists into knots she can't untangle. And she doesn't even realize the heavy toll it's taking. How it's wearing her down from the inside out. Bottled up emotions don't just sour your mood or leave you grumpy. They slam your body with a force that echoes through your heart, your gut, your whole system, dragging you down hard. The good news: you don't have to stay trapped in that cycle. You can set it free. Open up to someone you trust. Pour your thoughts onto a page. Or even let loose with a good yell into a pillow when no one's around to judge. If you're carrying more inside than you're letting spill out, don't shove it aside or pretend it's fine. Your heart and mind are crying out for that release, begging you to lighten the load before it breaks you. Habit 7, skipping checkups. The last habit on our list might just be the sneakiest, slipperiest trickster of them all. Dodging the doctor like it's a game of hide and seek. You're determined to win. Regular checkups after 60 aren't just nagging appointments. They're your chance to snag little problems before they balloon into massive, life-altering threats. Like creeping blood pressure that's gone unnoticed, cholesterol silently clogging your arteries, or the faint early whispers of cancer that you'd never spot on your own. Studies lay it out crystal clear. People who keep up with these visits, who stay on top of their health like a hawk, live longer. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Picture 2 retirees, Ellen and Gary, both 68, cruising through their golden years in very different ways. Ellen makes a point to get her annual exam every year without fail. She caught a thyroid glitch early once, nipped it in the bud with quick treatment, and now she's feeling fantastic, full of energy and gratitude. Gary, though, hasn't darkened a doctor's doorstep in years, shrugging it off with a casual "I feel fine," until one day a random dizzy spell sends him stumbling into the ER, where he's blindsided by a diagnosis of sky-high blood pressure he never even suspected was lurking. Ignoring checkups doesn't wave a magic wand and make problems vanish. It's more like handing them a free pass to grow bigger, meaner, and harder to fight off down the road. The good news: you can flip the script with one simple move. Just pick up the phone and book that next visit. Show up, ask the questions that nag at you, and keep yourself one step ahead of the game. If you've been kicking this can down the road, putting it off for another day that never seems to come, don't wait any longer. Your future self, the one who gets to enjoy more healthy, vibrant years, will look back and thank you for it. Final thoughts. Now that you've got these 7 habits in front of you, take a second to think, are you cruising through your 60s with strength and smarts? Or are a few of these sneaking into your life? The best part is, none of these are set in stone. You can move more, eat smarter, open up, and take charge. Starting today. Longevity isn't just about dodging the bad stuff, it's about building a life that's full, active, and worth living. So, what's one habit you'll tackle first? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Your input fuels us to keep making videos like this. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.